This is the only guide you need to master Psylocke. We'll be covering her abilities, combos, and pro gameplay tips for both beginners and pros. Let's start with one of her strongest combos, which deals about 400 HP and damage in one burst. You're going to be using this all the time, so let's break it down. Her left click is a burst hit scan attack that's very effective on both close range and long range. It can deal massive damage to tanks and even wipe out low health heroes. Her right-click ability allows her to throw shurikens that deal massive damage when they stick onto enemies. You can recall these shurikens back by right-clicking again. The shurikens will deal damage to any enemies on the return path as well. If you directly land a shuriken hit on an enemy, you'll get 50 temporary hit points. If the shurikens hit an enemy when returning to you, you'll get 30 temporary hit points instead of 50. This extra health should allow you to stay in the fight for a longer period of time. Your shift is a dash ability, which you have 2 charges of. If you dash into an enemy, you'll deal 50 HP of damage to them. Using a dash would also recall your shurikens if you had sent them out. This will recall them back to you as you dash, so you'll be able to deal cumulative damage from the shuriken and the dash. This works great as a reliable way to finish off low health enemies. If you throw your shurikens at someone and dash towards them, you can guarantee that the cumulative damage kills them. The cooldown of the dash is reduced as you deal damage. This means that if you're consistently landing hits, you'll find yourself always having a dash on hand. You can use it tactically to reposition yourself or escape danger. Now, with all of that in mind, let's put it all together for the combo. To extract the maximum possible damage, remember that Psylocke's left click or primary attack works just like a shotgun, where you'll be able to deal the most damage when you are 15 meters within an enemy, and the damage will drop off the further away you get. With this in mind, Psylocke has a very simple but strong attack combo, and it goes like this: left, right, left, right. Let me explain. Left click for your primary attack, right click to send out your shurikens. Immediately left click again for another burst. Then finish it off with a right click to recall your shurikens. As you can see, even with all body shots, that combo did about 300 damage to Thor. For reference, Thor has 600 health. So considering most characters who aren't tanks have 200 to 250 HP, that's a guaranteed kill. The combo's in fact faster if you dash immediately at the end to pull back your shurikens. If you're using your shift for mobility, just doing it straight forward like this is kind of a waste. If you actually aim it up a little bit, you keep the momentum for longer and get more distance. Psylocke's E ability is a short duration phase ability with increased movement speed. It's great for repositioning or flanking. And finally, we have her ultimate. Her ultimate is a large AoE attack that targets enemies one by one, shredding through any health heroes and dealing insane amounts of damage to anyone caught within the radius. Your ultimate goal, pun intended, would be to kill as many squishy enemies as possible. Now let's talk about some important playstyle tips for Psylocke. The game plan with Psylocke is very simple. Out of the enemy team, pick a couple squishies to focus on. Your kit will make it easy to keep them out of the game for a while, so diving into the backline to eliminate healers can be game-changing. Always remember to keep a dash or your invisibility on hand to escape danger, to stay alive and deal consistent damage on enemies using your left click on off angles. This not only helps build your ultimate charge quickly, but also forces enemies to reposition or focus on you, opening opportunities for your team. If you like this guide, you might love checking out this insane combo you can do with Mr. Fantastic, which lets you have over 900 HP almost all the time.